folks, this is Wayne S. Pierce right here for the Wayne S. Pierce Show. How are you? I know we're live today. It's not a podcast. Yay, we're live. It's an abbreviated show today. I'm not going to go to full hour as I usually do on a live broadcast, but I will give you as much information as I can in the time that I have, approximately a half hour. So, lots of things coming down the line, lots of things going on. This whole border crisis thing has got me, it's just, it's not logical, for one, to have these people who are, well, they're allowing this to happen. The Obama administration has perpetrated this on the American people. They fabricated this. They made this happen. It's on them, and that's just the way it is. And they created it, okay? They created it, okay? It's all on their backs. It has nothing to do with, anything else other than they want open borders. And they want to collapse the United States of America, which gives them the opportunity to bring in, as is coming into Detroit later, the United Nations. And the United Nations said they're going to go to the border and help the illegals come in. So now we know who the enemy is. And the enemy to the Republic is the tyrannical people of the Washington, D.C. elites and also the United Nations, period, end of sentence. A lot of things are going on, and a lot of people will disagree with me on every single level. And you know what? You need to get your head out of your ass. Excuse me. And you need to really look at this information and look at what's happening. Because if you don't, you're going to be right in line with getting run over by this monstrosity we call tyranny that is now in the United States of America. Okay? But there's good things to report, too. The border crisis story that the networks aren't telling you. Government officials restricting reporter access to illegal immigrants at detention centers. Border Patrol agents being infected with diseases and not seen in decades. The general in charge of the U.S. has let me go look at that. That's from the Media Research Center. And the general in charge of the U.S. Southern Command warning that terrorists and gang members could be hiding among the new influx of immigrants. They are just some of the startling new border crisis. The stories the big three, ABC, CBS, and NBC, have refused to tell their viewers. On June 8th through July 15th, the networks have run a total of 133 border crisis stories on their evening and morning news, yet not one of them has mentioned any of the following explosive reports from recent weeks. Government restricts media access to detention centers. Top general warns terrorist and gang members could be hiding in the new influx of illegal immigrants. MS-13 gangs recruiting new members at processing facilities. Border Patrol agents being infected. Plus, the Border Patrol agents in Marietta, California, I found out, are really telling the federal government, no, get the hell out of here. They're rebelling against the federal government, and they're saying, no, we don't want these people here. This is our community. We'll get them out. And they helped the protesters move them out, stop the buses, basically, is what it is. And here it is, conservativetribune.com. Border Patrol members threaten mutiny to protect protesters. Okay? I mean, that's number one right there. You have to stop them at the border. Civilian protests against the Obama administration's handling of illegal immigration crisis have have been growing rapidly, especially in the wake of successful demonstrations in Murrieta, California. The anti-illegal immigration protesters in that Southern California town of 100,000 successfully turned away at least 4 busloads of immigrants slated for processing and release in their community, encouraging citizens around the country to organize protests on of their own. New reports from an informer inside Customs and Border Protection says the civilians were not alone in their refusal to allow the federal government to violate their constitutional guarantees of free speech and assembly. Border Patrol agents reportedly told the superiors that they would stand down if the Department of Homeland Security carried out its threat to use force to end the peaceful demonstrations. That was last week, as a matter of fact. I'll remind people that the federal government said they were going to bring in blockades like you see on the side of the highways when they're working on the roads, and they were going to bring in federal agents and military and whatever to go in front of the buses to move the protesters out of the way. Well, the Border Patrol told their superiors, we're not going to allow this. And basically that's what needs to happen right now. Violent Paris pro-Hamas rally. Shocking footage from Paris, the pro-Hamas protests, and Russia Today TV has that one. In France, yesterday, activists locked a synagogue full of Jews and began throwing rocks and bricks before riot police came and rescued them. They also chanted "Death to Jews." The anti-Semitism is deplorable, and we strongly condemn it. Share this because the world should know. Also from Laura Ingram, video.lauraingram.com. Dueling immigration protesters face off in Arizona. That's Oracle. Yesterday. Also from The Resistance on Facebook, Dianne Feinstein on gun ban in 1995. Mr. and Mrs. America, turn your guns in. And she said they're not after our guns here recently. She has said that in the last year or so. And she lied through her damn teeth, as she does all the time. She needs to go away and retire into an old folks' home somewhere out of the United States of America and just live by herself, or let her billionaire husband take care of her. Also from Brian Lang, LiveTruthRadio.com. Army Ranger retires because of Obama, tells everything about America's future. There's a video there on Free America Radio on Facebook you want to go check out. Also from Brian Lang, LiveTruthRadio.com. Federal building in Detroit, people standing up, speaking out, and getting involved. Let me read that. Well, it's a video, but federal building in Detroit today, the pensions, tomorrow water, total control, and that's basically what it is. They want total control over everything. We want our freedom back on Facebook. Breaking: feds in full retreat after Maryland citizens stop plan to dump illegals. That's on conservativetribune.com. Also from prepperchimp.com, there's a picture, must-see video, 2015 North American Union, what comes next, and just a lot of stuff, a lot of headlines I'm going to be sharing with you, and the stories I'm going to be sharing with you on the Views Express Live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, abbreviated show today. I usually do an hour. And I just got so much to do, that I got to do it. So, if you want to, listen to a commentary I did earlier, it's about 10 minutes. It's up on Spreaker.com. And, I got to tell you, this whole border crisis, this whole, rally for the Republic of the United States of America is gaining ground because nobody wants illegal aliens here. I don't. I'm for immigration. I'm for legal immigration, not for this crap that's going on now. I'm for abolishing the Federal Reserve and the IRS and the ATF and the DHS and the TSA. I'm for abolishing all of those. Okay, I'm for strengthening the border, which is close the damn thing. Do you see that fence between Palestine and Israel? Yeah, let's build one about 25 feet tall. How's that? Let's build a big-ass fence down at the border. And if, of course, the government's not going to do it, so we, the people, are going to have to do it. And we're going to need volunteers down at the border. We're going to have to do whatever we have to do. And so whatever it may be, we have to do it. And here's the strange part about this. The legal immigrants that are here are telling the illegals, get into the back of the line. Okay? And so now there's that faction going on, and I gotta say it, and I'm going to put it out here. If you consider even backing this sort of, not this sort of, I shouldn't say that, if you back this type of immigration and just allowing the borders open and getting amnesty for everybody, if you back that ideology, you need to pack your bags and get the hell out of America right now, period. Today, the 16th of July, 2014. Pack it up and get the hell out, because you are not American. If you are not for freedom, liberty, peace, security for this nation that your grandfathers and your great-grandfathers probably fought for, okay, or your great-great-great-great-grandfather in a civil war or in the War of Independence fought for, then you are a traitor and you need to get the hell out before we find you and arrest your ass. No, I've said it, and that's the way it is. Now, a lot of people would say, well, why are you so harsh? Why are you talking down to people? I'm not talking down to people. I'm talking right to your face. If you disagree with the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, or don't support an ideology of peace, freedom, security, and liberty for the United States of America, you need to pack your bags and leave the country. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Americans living in Cuba. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of Americans living in southern Mexico. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people living elsewhere that are Americans, and I know for a fact that when perestroika happened in Germany and Russia and all this and all that back in the 80s, I heard of people leaving the United States and going to Russia to live. Why? Because they knew. They saw the signs. They saw the writing on the wall in America. They knew what was happening. And when Bill Clinton signed NAFTA and GATT and allowed the borders for commerce to be open, we knew right then and there that everything was going to go elsewhere. And if you walk here, here's a great microcosm of what is happening to America. Walk through your local Walmarts, your local Targets, your local, stores like that, and you look at not every single piece, it's impossible, but you look at the majority of the products that are on the shelves. You grab that tag, you turn it over, and you tell me where it was made. In recent months, I've found stuff made in India, in Honduras, in El Salvador, and mostly in China. So you tell me how well that NAFTA and GATT helped in the 90s to keep you and I employed in the United States of America. It was there to destroy. It was a precursor of what is happening right now. It was implemented to destroy the commerce in America and to depend solely on imports. Because if you look back then at the time that Bill Clinton signed that, look at everything up to that point. We had innovation, creation, entrepreneurship. Everything was working just fine. Then all of a sudden he signs this, and 6 months to a year later, boom, we go into debt completely in our trade. We're billions and billions and probably now trillions of dollars in debt because of that. Okay? I'm with James Traficant, former Congressman James Traficant. I'm for him. Let's just eliminate the personal income tax and put something. You might have to go to his website to find out what that is. Put in put something else into there. and that would work. Let me do this. Let's see. Trafficant predicts current economic crisis 8 years before it happens. And his website here was updated. That's 2011. So let me. Well, I'll tell you what. Here's an easy way to find out what he said exactly. Listen to the replay, to the rebroadcast of the Pete Santilli show. He was on it. Okay, and you will hear what he has to say. I'm all for getting rid of personal income tax. I'm also for the states developing their own within their own states, but I'm also for eliminating that as well and having a national retail sales tax, across the board, that, 15% flat tax across the board, period. 15% flat tax across the board, period. Just get rid of everything. Get rid of the income tax. Get rid of all the taxes, all corporate taxes, all dividend taxes, all capital gains. That's what James Traficant says. And I agree with that. Did you know that if you look at every single little item that you have that you're taxed by, if you add up everything that has a tax on it that you have to fork out of your pocket to pay for, it's upwards to 65%. So that tells me that I don't keep a whole lot of my money. A 15% flat tax across the board tells me I get to keep 85% of my money. Okay? This whole border crisis is the same thing. These people are, quote-unquote, human resources for these businesses that don't want to pay you a fair market living wage, and they want everybody to be on the same page. They want everybody to be at the same level. And that's going to collapse. That's going to collapse the infrastructure of this country built upon the entrepreneurship of you and I. Built upon the backs of the people that worked their own businesses for over 30, 40, 50 years, handed it down to their families and all that. When you allow the illegal immigrants, I'm just calling them what they are, illegal aliens into this country to take jobs away from you, your family, your friends, your neighbors, that's going to put everybody on the same playing field at the same level, and you are not going to be the exceptional person that you've wanted to be. You're not going to be exceptional. And here's the bottom line. The rich will get richer and the poor will become non-existent. Hey, I'm going to go to break. I'll be right back. The people of the world are bound by the collective mindset of the true controllers of the United States of America and the rest of the world. The chains of tyranny are being tightened around the liberties and freedoms of free societies. It is the obligation and the duty of those that seek to adhere to the principles of our founding fathers to defend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights from enemies, foreign and domestic. We, the people, have the power. We have the ability to change the direction of our lives. We have the ability to get the word out to others that we must rise, stand, and defend our families and friends from the onslaught of the leaders that want tyranny in the United States of America. We, the people, have the power. We are America. The views expressed, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Spreaker.com. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Free America Radio Network. Prepare yourself for the unexpected. Have an emergency food supply available when you need it. You never know when the next power outage or natural disaster will happen. Are you prepared when it does? Go to Free America Radio Network website and click on the Store tab and get your emergency food supply now. Go to freeamericaradio.us. A natural disaster could happen at any time. Be prepared. Go to freeamericaradio.us and click on the store tab to get your emergency food supply today. That's freeamericaradio.us and click on the store tab and prepare in case something happens. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Local radio with a worldwide connection. The Free America Radio Network. Go to www.freeamericaradio.us. Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Free America Radio Network. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I'm yours truly, Wayne S. Pierce. How are you? You're doing good on this Wednesday? I hope so, because, hey, you know, it's Wednesday, it's hump day, and it's all downhill from here, right? Well, hey, I've decided to go a little bit longer, so stick around with me after the bottom of the hour break, and we'll go from there. But let me also remind you that the Views Expressed Live is listener-supported, so if you want to support Free America Radio Network, this show and the Views Express Live and other shows that we have on the network, please go to freeamericaradio.us and go to the bottom of the page, okay, and you will see a way that you can donate to the to Free America Radio Network, okay. And, yeah, so there you go. You can help out. We'll get to the next level, and we'll get the truth out there one fact at a time. I don't know everything. I don't claim to know everything, and if I'm wrong, I'll admit to it. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. How many people do you know that can say that? Not very many, huh? So anyway, I started a little late today, but still I'm going to stay on schedule. So in a few minutes, I'm going to go to the bottom of the hour break and or take a break at the bottom of the hour. Maybe, I don't know. It's my network. I can do whatever I want. You know what? I just decided. I'll go at the 40-minute tell or the 20 tell mark, the 20 minutes to the top of the hour. So, yeah, you got me for the next few minutes here. Anyway, go to Free America Radio on Facebook. Actually, do this, if you would, please. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Appreciate that. Do this, the Wayne S. Pierce Show on Facebook. Go there, and you'll, if you've clicked on the link there to hear the show, that's cool. Thank you very much. TheGatewayPundit.com. Feds to open $50 million resort for illegal children, complete with tennis courts, sauna, and pools. My cousin in Texas said that he's not that far away from that place, and he said they don't have a pool. But I told him, I said, $50 million can build one. Okay? So, anyway... also, conservativetribune.com, there's a video you need to watch, and black protesters in Chicago slam Obama as quote-unquote worst president ever elected. Also from renewamerica.com, Mexico is deliberately aiding illegal aliens. Well, we've known that for years, have we not? Misguided children, anti-Semitism spreads worldwide as Israel pounds Gaza. There's videos there. And a good humanitarian story from PrepperChimp.com. Lowe's employees come to the rescue of disabled vet with broken wheelchair. Yeah, they repair it right there in the store. They repaired it right there in the store. So, and these guys are good, okay? Fox News host stuns with finger-jabbing tirade. Let me go there, and that's on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. There is a video, but I'm just going to read you the article. The California state lawmaker is calling for the resignation of Fox News The Five co-host Bob Beckel after an on-air rant that included racial slur. Quote, "The Chinese are single biggest threat to the national security of the U.S." This is what Bob Beckel, the host of Fox News The Five, says. They have been, and they will be, and they can't wait. They're very patient. Quote, "Do you know what we just did? We bring them over and we teach them a bunch of..." Now get this. This is what Bob Beckel says. "Do you know what we just did? We bring them over and we teach a bunch of Chinamen or Chinese people about, how to do computers, and then they go back to China and hack into us." State Senator Ted Lieu of California called on Beckel to resign over his comments regarding Chinese people. Quote, "I am one of those Chinamen." This is what the senator says, state senator says, "with Oriental eyes that immigrated to America and majored in computer science. I also served an active duty in the United States Air Force and continue to serve my country in the reserves. And today, as an American and as a California state senator, I call on Mr. Beckel to resign. We should all be alarmed by the racist, xenophobic comments by Fox News host Bob Beckel. His comments have no place in America." Well, State Senator Lieu, I want to tell you this as a former Californian myself. I didn't vote for you. I don't think I did. I don't remember if I did or not. And if I did, you're a moron. Do you understand that? Let me tell you something about the state of California, about the rest of the United States. We have free speech in this country, and it's not free speech. It's not protecting the free speech of people we agree with. It's also protecting the free speech of people we don't agree with. So, State Senator Lieu, shut your big damn pie hole! Now, I'm a little agitated and a little upset at the fact that somebody, a state senator, even the senators and congressmen in the White House are saying stuff like this. This is reflective on the hearts of the politicians. Here is why. The politicians in Washington, D.C. want nothing to do but to shut you down. That's you and I, folks. They want to shut you down. That is why they are looking at censoring the internet, turning it off, changing it, whatever, and eliminating our free speech. Do you understand that? By the way, let me tell you this. I don't like Bob Beckel. Never have, never will. Why? Because he's a stinking moron, and he's right up there with that Ed Schultz over at MSNBC. Period. I don't care what he says. I used to be a Fox head myself. I used to watch it religiously every day. And I stopped watching shows like The Five and any other show like that, except for when Glenn Beck was there. I watched him. And this coming from a person who was an MSNBC watcher. So yes, I know both sides of this whole situation. The state senator better shut his damn pie hole because he has absolutely no idea what he's saying. He's saying, we don't like those people and we want to shut them up. But it was a racial comment. So is kike. So is cracker. So is honky. They're words, moron. They're freaking words. They mean nothing. And I don't care how many people are going to look at me and say, yes, they do. They don't. Because if you know in your heart who you are and what you are going to carry that and ignore all of the detractors. People have called me every name in the freaking book and made up a few along the way, and I can tell you they are completely and absolutely wrong because I know who I am. Can I be an ass at times? Yes. Can I be a moron at times? Yes. Can I be naive at times? Yes. But guess what? Call me every name in the book and make up a few if you want. They're words. Okay? They're just words. So get over this political correct bullcrap and understand that you either grow thicker skin or shut your damn mouth. So Mr. Senator Ted Lieu of California, you've got an apology to make, don't you? I'm at the point now where there's two things that are happening in America that are going to be the detriment of this whole issue of freedom. And that is, number one, people like State Senator Ted Lieu and anybody in his corner that wants to shut up anybody else that doesn't agree with him. And I myself personally, on a personal level, get a little agitated and pissed off at people who say stuff to me like, well, I know that's not what you meant. Really? Did I open my mouth? Yes. Did you hear it? Yes. Then I meant it. I get sick and tired of people telling me that I should cater to this, that I should say it this way, that I shouldn't be so aggressive, that I should not be so harsh and all that. You know what? Grow some thicker skin, because I got the balls to carry on and say whatever I want to say. You may not agree with it, but that's my First Amendment right. And again, you don't have to agree with it. Get up in my face, because I guarantee you I will put the truth up in your face with the facts, and I'll make you feel 2 inches tall. And if you don't like it, take your little happy ass, liberal ass the other direction and close the door on the way out. I don't make any bones about how I feel. I don't hold back. And I said in December of 2013 that I wasn't going to hold back. And if somebody's stupid, I'm going to call them out on it. And if somebody's a moron, I'm going to call them out on it. And if somebody is telling me that my freedom of speech is not worthy of so much, well, how can I put this? If I am told that somebody else's free speech is worth more than mine and that I should keep my mouth shut, like California State Senator Ted Lieu is doing to Bob Beckel, then guess what? That person is a freaking moron, and I will continue to call that person a freaking moron because they don't understand the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and everything that goes along with it. And if they do, I'd like to hear from them. Yes, I'm a little agitated because there's people. I don't back Bob Beckel because he's I could go on about that because I'm a former Foxhead, okay? I don't want to go into all of that, but if I see something stupid or hear something moronic, I'm going to call people out on it, period. And hey, I don't expect anybody not to do that to me. If I say something that's totally off base, you go ahead and call me to task on it. Please. Okay? I mean, seriously. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. And Lou noted that in 2013, Beckel said he went swimming with his eyes blew up as he looked Oriental. This is what Bob Beckel said in 2013. In 2010, Beckel, a regular advocate for progressive policies, see, there you go, right there, on the cable news channel, blasted Atlas Shrugg's publisher, Pamela Geller, a commenter for WND, which is WorldNet Daily, over her concern about the Islamization of America. Quote, "You better be careful. You're a woman. Be careful saying who I carry water for because you have no idea what you're talking about," Beckel said in a heated exchange on Fox. Geller was on the program to discuss a 60 Minutes interview with the Ground Zero Mosque about the Ground Zero Mosque in New York City, which had outraged many because of its presence at Ground Zero, where the Twin Towers stood before being destroyed by Islamic jihadists September 11, 2001. No, it wasn't, and that's a lie right there. Our own country did it. The program, quote, "Money Rocks," unquote, was hosted by Eric Bolling, who is now one of Beckel's co-hosts on the channel's weekday show, The Five. The topic was the 60 Minutes interview with Faisal Raf, an imam working to build a mosque in Ground Zero. He told the interviewer that building a mosque there was a right thing to do and America needs it. Geller described the comments in the interview as a perfect illustration, quote, of the crippling bias of mainstream media. America needs, it's patently wrong, unquote. Geller, co-founder of the group Stop Islamization of America, called the interview a big wet kiss to Islamic supremacists in America. The imam, according to the research by Bolling Show, earlier called U.S. policies an accessory to the crime of 9/11 and claimed that the most direct sense Osama bin Laden is made in the USA. Osama bin Laden is made in the USA. Osama bin Laden was dead by some reports, had passed away from kidney failure in 2001, late 2001 or early 2002. So anybody that says 19 hijackers took a plane and slammed it into buildings is totally wrong. The official story is totally wrong. 6 members of the 9/11 Commission stepped away from it and literally blew the whistle and retracted each and every statement only due to the fact that they didn't have all the information. But most of them that left the commission had said, or I should say who were on the commission, had said that, something else was afoot. Those are my words. 9/11 was an inside job, period, end of story. Done. Okay? Done. Beckel told viewers previously at some point we're going to have to get over 9/11, lamenting that police in the USA today waste time looking for non-existent terrorists. Quote, I don't know why you're carrying water for the most radical ideology in the world, Geller told Beckel. Quote, there have been 20,000 documented radical Islamic attacks since 9/11, unquote. And Beckel responded, you better be careful. Jabbing his finger at Geller, he warned, don't start putting me in the middle of your crap, unquote. And Geller, whose books include The Post-American Presidency, Stop the Islamization of America, and the Ground Zero Mosque, responded with her own finger jabbing, saying, don't you point at me. Beckel said, I'll point at you all I want. Talking over her, he accused her of having 15 minutes of fame and picking up a bunch of Muslims. She was saying Beckel was picking on women. Look at how you're talking to me. Ahmed Rehab of the Council of the American Islamic Relations, apparently on the program to discuss the 60 Minutes interview, attacked Geller by calling her names such as bigot. Well, I can go on and on, but this is up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show under Fox News host stuns with finger jabbing tirade. Yeah, folks, it's that bad. Okay, it is that freaking bad. Do you understand me? None of these people know what the hell they're talking about, and if they do, they got the facts to back it up. I didn't see that program, but I'm just telling you what was on that program. And if anybody has seen it, please let me know. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Going to break. I shall return in just a few moments. Photography is an art form, and Adventures in Photography shows you all of the forms of art there is in our world. Spencer Hughes captures the colors and works of natural art in his book, Adventures in Photography. For more information, go to SpencerHughesPhotography.com. Listen to Crash Talk with your host, Christopher John Taylor, on HTLA973.com.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene, destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 5:15 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And Southnet 1.
All aboard! Train's gonna love you. Take the last train to Boston. See them both run.
He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia.
Leaving on the midnight.
Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razorblade Express. with Dave the Rave.
What is reality? The foundation of reality is based on many concepts. Each person perceives reality differently. In the book, The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman, they explore the hidden infrastructure of reality. Get your copy today at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com. The Grid by Marie D. Jones and Larry Flaxman. Tearing down the walls that stand between freedom and tyranny, revealing who is behind the curtain, pushing the buttons and pulling the handles, sharing the truth one fact at a time. From behind enemy lines in FEMA Region 9, from the biggest little city in the world, this is The Views Expressed Live.
Get ready.
Hey folks, this is not The Views Express Live. That will be on at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Free America Radio Network at freeamericaradio.us or on Spreaker.com. So yes, how are you today on this Wednesday, the last few moments of this show? I decided to go an hour right in the middle of the show. I'm thinking, might as well just go an hour. You might as well. Also, MadWorldNews.com says busloads of illegals shopping at Walmart with EBT cards. Yeah, there you go. That's up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, and you can scroll on down and you'll see a big yellow bus. Picture of a big yellow bus. Let's do this. Let me read this to you from RenewAmerica.com. Mexico is deliberately aiding illegal aliens by Alan Caruba. Thank you, Alan. It no doubt strikes a lot of Americans as odd that the U.S. Marine Reservist Sergeant Andrew Tamarisi, a 25-year-old California native who had served 2 years of active duty in Afghanistan, was arrested in March for illegally entering Mexico when he had made a wrong turn in Tijuana. Being in possession of registered firearms, about which he informed the customs officials, didn't help. He is still in jail while waiting a court judgment. The fact that Mexico's illegal immigration laws are a lot tougher than those of the U.S. Under Mexican law, illegal immigration is a felony punishable by up to 2 years in prison. Immigrants who are deported and attempt to re-enter can be jailed up for 10 years. Visa violators can be sentenced for 6-year terms, and Mexicans who help illegal immigrants are considered to be criminals. It doesn't end there. Under Mexican law, foreigners can be deported if they are deemed detrimental to economic and national interests, violate Mexican law, or are not physically or mentally healthy, or lack the necessary funds for their sustenance. This applies to their dependents as well. In other words, if you're over there and you can't take care of yourself, you're out. Because Mexico is not going to give you free welfare and free cars and free, EBT cards. They're not going to do that. Somehow, though, thousands of migrants from nations to the south of Mexico are passing through to get to our border and are in the process no less illegal in Mexico than here. That has changed, however. On July 9th, the Examiner reported that the Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto had met with Guatemalan President Otto Perez Molina, and they held a joint press conference to, quote, officially announce an agreement to make it easier for those making the illegal journey to the United States from Central America to cross into Mexico, unquote. They will be issued a regional visitor's card that allows them to stay in Mexico for 72 hours, just long enough to make it to the U.S. border. The arrangement will include Belize as well. No doubt it will be extended to San Salvador and Honduras. So if you want to leave Belize and come on back, except for Joe Conforti, then yeah, you can do that. Joe Conforti was the owner of the Mustang Ranch here near Reno, Nevada, and he got caught in some tax situations, and he fled the country to Belize, last I heard. Continuing, the popular notion is that it has been Mexico's rural poor that have been eager to come here. The fifth largest country in the Americas, it has a population of more than 113 million and one of the world's largest economies, as the 10th largest oil producer in the world and the largest producer of silver. Mexico is home to the 6th largest electronics industry in the world, and it produces the most automobiles of any North American nation. General Motors, Ford, Chrysler have had plants in Mexico since the 1930s, and Nissan and Volkswagen built plants there in the 1960s. Mexico is regarded as a firmly established upper middle income nation, but somewhere between 35% to 46% of the population, about 52 million persons, are regarded to be living in extreme to moderate poverty. It is that population that represents the bulk of the illegal aliens who enter the U.S. They send a remittance back to Mexico estimated to be about $25 billion, but that represents 0.2% of its GDP. In 2004, the Center of Immigration Studies released a study that found that illegal alien households were estimated to use $2,700 in services than they pay in taxes, creating a fiscal burden of nearly $10.4 billion on the 2002 federal budget. That, no doubt, has increased over the past decade. Among the federal costs for our Medicaid, treatment for the uninsured, food assistance programs, and the federal prison and court systems, and federal aid to schools, illegals generally lack a level of education and hold jobs that represent low levels of skill. To put it mildly, Mexico is happy to export its own citizens to become illegal aliens in the United States, and now, thanks to President Obama's policies, so do Honduras, San Salvador, and Guatemala. It's worth noting that the children of illegals are awarded American citizenship at birth under current law. In 2005, writing in the Washington Times on border policy perplexities, Stephen Johnson, a senior policy analyst for Latin America at the Heritage Foundation, noted that Mexican oligarchs, this is a quote, Mexican oligarchs see free movement northward as a safety valve to relieve pressure from 1 million workers entering Mexico's labor force with no job prospects. Rather than liberalize their economy to end corrupt monopolies, strengthen property rights, and establish the rule of law, they would rather keep things as they are and merely ship their jobless, poorly educated throngs north, unquote. With 92 million Americans out of work or who have ceased looking, it is little wonder that there is little sympathy for Mexicans and others who illegally enter the nation. Even so, there is an outrage that so many are now children and that President Obama could not stir himself from a schedule of fundraisers to visit the border or one of the detention centers to house them. According to a 2012 estimate of the Homeland Security Department, there were approximately 11.5 million illegal immigrants in the United States by the end of 2011. As reported in the Washington Times in March of 2012, quote, of the current illegal population, only 14% have entered the United States since 2005. That seems a vast majority have been in the country for years, putting down the kind of roots that immigrant rights activists say should earn them the change to achieve citizenship. Those favoring stricter enforcement balk at that, saying it amounts to rewarding those who have broken the law the longest, unquote. Mexicans still account for the most of illegal aliens at 6.8 million, or 59%. If they were living illegally in Mexico, they would be deported. Moreover, illegals from other nations such as China and from the Mideast are also passing through without the Mexican legal system taking any notice of them. The current quote-unquote humanitarian crisis has sharpened the political divisions between those who want to build a big wall to keep out all the illegals and those who want to extend amnesty to those who have been living here for several years. The recent defeat of the House Minority Leader Eric Cantor, Republican of Virginia, has signaled the growing opposition to policies that facilitate illegal immigration. What is clear, however, is that Mexico, in addition to its double standard regarding aliens who enter it, is now actively engaging what should be called an act of war. America is already deep in financial debt. It cannot afford to absorb and pay for thousands of illegal aliens. Laws have to be changed. Fences need to be built, and border needs aggressive patrol. The alternative is to begin referring to the United States of America as Estados Unidos. My Mexican sucks. My Spanish language sucks. My high school teacher would be rolling over in her grave right now. But they are forcing, they are pushing, they are demanding that they come over here. The pro-immigration activists, they are saying, we need them over here, blah, blah, blah. No. You need to pack your bags and leave and go to Mexico. If you like Mexico so much, you need to go over there. If you like those socialist, ideologies and politics, you need to pack your bags and go to Mexico. That's the way it is, and that's the way it's going to be. Now, not because I say it, and I'm only using figure of speech, by the way. Just, yes, I want people gone. You don't want to be here, but you want this country to accommodate for foreigners being here, and we have to cater to them? No, pack your bags and leave. But here's the other side of that coin. Before you start throwing stuff and accusations at me of being a racist and prejudiced, here's the other side of that coin. If you pro-immigration activists are so concerned about the children and these people being here, including the drug cartel members of gangs there and the members of MS-13, the most deadliest gang in Mexico and LA and California and all that and all over the United States, yes, they're here. Go look the information up. It's public domain. If you want them here, Mr. and Mrs. pro-immigration activist, open your homes to them. Open your homes to them. Oh, and by the way, the government says that you can get over $6,000 a month for helping them out. So why don't you pro-liberal immigration, comprehensive immigration reform activists that want open borders, why don't you open your homes to them? Yes, I don't care if 5 of them come fully tattooed that look like they can, rip you apart. Welcome them in your house, okay? Go ahead. Okay? Just open your homes to them, because obviously that's what you want. You want to collapse America with them being here, and I can go on, but I won't. You know full well that the borders are open to collapse America, to destroy the sovereignty of this nation, to get rid of our Constitution, and to get rid of our guns and our way of protecting ourselves. You pro-immigration activists, you know this. Why would you be protesting against the protesters if you didn't know this? La Raza, the race, Atzland, Southwest America, Mexico wants it back. You pro-amnesty, pro-immigration, open border fascist pigs should go down to Mexico and buy a place down there and live. It's the way it is, because I know that's what you want. You eventually want America to be Estados Unidos. Mi español es no muy bien. But I guarantee you that you will have your neighbors so pissed off at you that they're going to force you out of your neighborhood and out of your home. You pro-amnesty pieces of trash. And if they don't come to your home and start protesting you around your home, yeah. I'm just saying. They may do that. I'm not encouraging it. I'm just saying that the anti-immigration, illegal immigration, here. Let me take a few minutes and explain it to you in a very simple term. Illegal immigration is illegal. It's against our laws. You pro-amnesty people are stupid. Can I make it any plainer than that? And those protesters at the borders, wonder what would happen if they came around your home and on your block and protested out in the middle of your street, in front of your home, in front of your kids, in front of your neighbors. What would they do? Interesting, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm going to go away now. Come join me on the Views Express live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Free America Radio Network. Excuse me, I promise not to be so out there. Like, I'm just pissed. This stuff has got me so pissed off. So I'm frustrated. Folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show. You can go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com site and also email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. That would be freeamericaradio@usa.com. Remember, the views expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network, freeamericaradio.us.